The road to 150 live stream drafts continues here on Best Ball Breakfast. On Saturday night, we kicked off Best Ball Mania 4 by ripping 2 drafts, one of them with Patrick Corain, the defending champ. And today, I will get to draft by myself all the Trey Lance and Kyle Pitts I can handle without Corain shaming me for just drafting the players that bring me joy. Let's do it. It's Best Ball Breakfast. Hot Best Ball Summer rolls on.
Oh, another Influencer 101 for the backward hats, bro. Rigged!
Zach Ertz with no Tyler Algier bringback? Yikes.
You reached around for correlation? That's a no-no. You ADP bros disgust me. How about you just live a little?
Handcuffing might actually be a way to get unique if the field's avoiding it.
The Wi-Fi at this resort is a disaster?
These fucking streamers don't have player takes.
What if a piss boy draft is the room you need?
Oh!
I was very close to being 1 minute late. You know what? It's my usual issue around here. I burned through my first pot of coffee and I'm like, oh shit, it's 10 till 10 and I don't have a full pot of coffee to do the requisite coffee pours. If you happen to be new around here, we did add a lot of subscribers over the weekend. My marketing gimmick, road to 15K subs, is working. More on that in a bit for those of you who don't know. But what we like to do around here on Best Ball Breakfast is we do a coffee pour to kick things off. And, you know, it used to be just like this harmless, innocuous thing. I would just pour my coffee, move on with the show. And then everyone's like, wait, no. Really make a meal out of it. Could you actually get that coffee pot closer to the mic? Oh, yeah. And what I learned is I thought a lot of people were tuning into this stream to watch Best Ball, to watch me tilt my face off, to try to dial up Week 17 stacks. No. What I realized is this is just some ASMR freak show for you guys. And you guys are just hoping that I make any kind of random noise so you guys can get your rocks off. And, you know, who am I to kink shame around here? Who am I to, you know, judge you guys for your little quirks and things you like? So here we go. Let's just start it off right away with a nice, hearty coffee pour. Beautiful. There you go. So that's what we do around here. A little ASMR to start things off. The chat is popping this morning. Let me try to catch up here. Lots of GMs. Yes, Willis, don't snipe me on Anthony Richardson like you did on Saturday night. Still 0 Anthony Richardson shares. And you know what? That's the other thing about this whole challenge, where I have famously agreed that every single one of my Best Ball Mania 4 drafts will be streamed. And it seemed like such a good idea at the time. And then I started seeing these tweets, you know, I start seeing these tweets of the teams you guys are drafting. I start to see things like JGFC, I'll show you guys here on screen, has already drafted 50 teams. Look at this. You sickos out here, I only have 2 under my belt because of what I have agreed to. And JGFC is out here with 49 Best Ball Mania 4 entries already in the can. You guys are sick. And then I also see this, let me see, from last night. Someone sends me this draft. People, do you know what's never going to happen in one of my stream drafts? A Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra St. Brown start. There's sickos out here getting Devontae Adams 11 picks past ADP. Amon-Ra St. Brown 8 picks past ADP. Does someone think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to lead the league in targets this year? What the hell is going on? But I committed to this bit and I'm going to stick to it. I've only done 2 Best Ball Mania entries to date, and it is what it is. You know, I made my bit bed and now I have to lie in it. That's just how it goes. But it is going to be a great summer. I can't believe this contest is already, what's it at? 2% full. We're already 2% full here. Just absolutely wild stuff from all of you Best Ball sickos. Good morning to all the Best Ball bros. Chris Diaz says he needs, geez, I can't keep up on this chat. My God, you guys are out of control. I'm so far behind on the chat. I am in the draft. I am in a draft. Let's get this rolling. What did I get? No influencer 1-1. JGFC, how do you get in every single one of these drafts? I did tip off. I've been given a little bit of notice. If you are in the Discord, the Best Ball Value Hounds Discord. Sorry, I'm getting my overlays set here. I will tip off when I join these drafts. I've already committed to losing EV, so I might as well let you guys know when I'm hopping in. So if you are a YouTube member, and that means a Best Ball Value Hound, you get access to that channel in the Discord. You basically sync your YouTube account with your Discord account. And I will tag you guys in there when I hop in these drafts. But 1-5, I can live with 1-5 here this morning. Can certainly live with 1-5. And have we gotten, those of you who have been drafting continuously since this contest launched on Saturday, I believe we've gotten an ADP update, right? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I believe we finally have our first ADP update. Clay calling a shot. This contest is filling by July 4th. Jeez. All right. What do we want to do here? Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs, Travis Kelce. You know what? I had been fading Travis Kelce a decent bit, and I think wrongly, in the big boards and in the Superflex contest. I think it's time to get back on the Travis Kelce train here. Come on down, Travis. Come on down. Feels good. Feels good to get an elite tight end. Oh, Anthony, thank you. Thank you for reminding me of this. Will Pete continue a streak of user-sponsored drafts? I mean, yeah, people were being really generous on Saturday. Basically, I think what happened is people saw me auto-draft Raheem Mostert, just, an atrocious pick, a guy whose ADP is going to plummet with Devin Achane now in the fold. And people took pity on me and started sending in $25 super chats to subsidize my entries. And so, yes, Anthony, I would absolutely love to see that continue. Oh, man, I don't know. God, am I going to have my first decision of do I need to pull take a second round Patrick Mahomes? Maybe, I mean, I see we got a lot of badges in here this morning. What if everyone just gave me third round Patrick Mahomes? Doesn't that seem nice? To me, that just seems like a nice thing for everyone. Yeah, I talked about this on Saturday. Ryan says the people know the way to get more puppies is just to fire BBM with reckless abandon. Need this 10% full by Thursday. Yes, because whenever Underdog wants to, put the pump the brakes on Best Ball Mania 4, they just drop a puppy. And everyone's like that meme, the guy with the holding his hands with the girlfriend and then looking over his shoulder and they're like holding hands with BBM4. And then it's like, whoa, $5 puppies. Ooh, oh, check out the ass on those puppies. I don't know if that analogy fully tracks. Let's forget the part where I said, check out the ass on the puppies. Bullock says Bijan at the one turn will not be a thing throughout the summer. Yeah, probably. Let's see here. I want a wide receiver. I want to see if the room will give me third round Patrick Mahomes. I'll take Chris Olave. So we start with Chris Olave and Travis Kelce. I will be servicing the audio listeners along this journey to 150 stream drafts. That was it, Anthony. I should have said check out the tail on those puppies. Check out the tail on those puppies. Okay, yeah, I want to get back to the Bijan thing. Yeah, so he goes at pick 13 here. I do agree that as enthusiasm ramps up for Bijan and we start to get the training camp hype and all of that, I mean, he should probably be what? Like 1.7, 1.8 in that range. You're probably taking Bijan over AJ Brown, I think. The problem is, and again, I don't know if this is just an ADP thing, but Tyler Algier is still being way overdrafted. Until the market kind of corrects on Algier, I think drafters are not fully, at least across the board, pushing Bijan up because of Algier. At least that's what the ADPs reflect right now. What are you doing from the one? This is a badge, bro. Wigglesworth double tapping Mahomes and Hurts. What are we doing here? How did you get your badge? Are they just giving these badges out to anyone these days? Do you just make a donation to the site? If you just write underdog a $10,000 check, they just give you a badge? What are we doing here? Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts? All right. Is it silly season already? What's going on here? Does someone want to, what in the Wigglesworth is going on here? Someone didn't notice? They just thought they were entering another Superflex draft. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, this is a gross spot. I don't like Henry. I don't like Kenneth Walker. I kind of like Ramondre. Or we could try to do the elite quarterback thing. We could do Fields. Let's do Fields. Let's have some fun. We're just going to try to alpha this. We have alpha tight end, alpha quarterback. Is Chris Olave an alpha? Trust me, I think Chris Olave is good. I just spent the 20th overall pick on him, but I'm talking more in the vibe sense. Is Chris Olave an alpha? Is Chris Olave a grown-ass man? I don't think anyone's calling Chris Olave a grown-ass man, right? And again, no disrespect to Chris Olave. I love him. And in fact, I just famously spent a 20th overall pick on him. I just don't think he's a grown-ass man. And so if I am going to kind of brand this team alpha, team grown-ass man, I don't think I can do that with a straight face after selecting Chris Olave. Olave in alpha minus. Terrace says no love for Debo, man. I'm maybe just a little gun shy on Debo. I famously, how many times can I say famously this stream? I famously was taking Debo Samuel over Tyreek Hill at the 2-3 turn last year, and that worked out wonderfully. I think Debo's fine, but in general, I think the reason I had pause here is because I think he's part of this next tier of wide receivers, and I don't want to take the first player in a so-so tier. You see, like once Metcalf goes off the board here, like this Debo, Ridley, Amari, Hopkins, all of that tier there feels very similar to me. So I don't want to be kicking off the tier 2 wide receiver run. Ross says, what do we think of London Pitts with Bijan added going to average 10 pass attempts per game? Yeah, I mean, I think there's two ways to spin it, right? You can say it would be almost impossible for the Falcons to run more than they did last year. They're clearly going to run the shit ton out of the ball. But I honestly think at worst, it's just the same amount of pass volume as last year, which yes, that would be pretty bad. But you can make the counter argument that the piece of the offensive pie is going to get bigger. If Bijan Robinson is breaking off big runs, if the Falcons have more trips to the red zone, if they're scoring more points on average than they did last year, even if the run pass splits aren't up to what we would want, if they're scoring a lot of points, then I think one of London or Pitts, could get dragged along for a breakout season. That's what I'm telling myself. GA wondering, will Lamar flip Fields eventually? I don't know. People don't seem to love Lamar in that situation where I think people are starting to get more excited about the Bears in general. I think I prefer Fields to Lamar. I don't know. It's I think it's a good debate. I think it's close. I just think at this stage in his career, like Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, just like, I wonder, maybe this is like a bad film take. All right, wait 1 sec here. Okay, I am going to have to do DJ Moore with Justin Fields for sure. So we're going to stack up Fields with DJ Moore. Here's my question, and you film bros tell me if I'm wrong. In my head, I'm thinking Lamar Jackson at this stage of his career can't do what Justin Fields does of just like ripping off that 70-yard touchdown run. Whether because Baltimore's not dialing up as many designed runs, or because he's a little gun shy, or because he just isn't quite as athletic as he was when he was younger. Do we co-sign that take, or am I off my rocker with this one? Are Justin Fields and Lamar Jackson at this point at the same level of athleticism? I think that's a fair conversation to have. Speak on that. Hmm. This is a good point too. Silas is getting excited about Todd Monken, which should potentially bring a shift to that offense. They add Zay Flowers. They add the guy who will not be named. But this doesn't the throwing element doesn't have anything to do with my conversation about Fields versus Lamar and who's more likely to rip off 60-yard TD runs this year. All right, we are back on the clock here. This Miles Sanders ADP is really weird to me. I took Aaron Jones the other night, but even got him at more of a discount. I guess we're just going to do McLaurin again. The wide receivers are flying off the shelves pretty good. So we'll add McLaurin. We're still 0 RB through 5 rounds. Justin Fields to DJ Moore. And then we have Chris Olave, Terry McLaurin, and Travis Kelce holding things down at tight end. Jason says, I think Lamar is still one of the only guys that can give you a 40-point game. I mean, 40-point game, right? I mean, we can look at the ADP. Josh Allen can do it. Jalen Hurts can do it. Patrick Mahomes can do it. Justin Fields can do it. And sure, I think we can include Lamar there. And then I think we can also segment out, Herbert and Burrow. Sure, in the 99th percentile outcomes, those guys can do it if they throw 5 TDs. But yeah, he's one of 5 guys who can reliably do it. Actually, 7. Trey Lance and Anthony Richardson too. Ooh, I forgot about this. I got an Ohio State stat going. I'm going to have to send a screenshot of this lineup to Ian Hartitz after it. Should I draft Curtis Samuel while I'm at it? Wow, Casey. Wait, Casey, I thought you were going to go with the other way. Casey, like his brother, a noted Ravens homer, taking Lamar over Fields is not it. Casey, I didn't take Lamar over Fields. In fact, I took Fields over Lamar and will continue to do so until the film grinders tell me that Lamar Jackson is going to have more 60-yard rushing touchdowns than Justin Fields. This is a bad take, Cody. Get out of here with this take. There's a world where Deshaun does it? No. Will Pete take Sam Howell without Pat here to judge him? Absolutely. God, I'm so excited to take Sam Howell. Justin Fields, Sam Howell just feels like a really comfy, cozy quarterback room. I don't know what you meant, Casey. I don't. The only thing I know is the words you type, and then I use kind of my brain and my ability to read words, and then I take those at face value. So whatever you write, I am going to assume that's what you meant. Imagine betting on 60-yard TDs. I mean, that's why we're drafting these rushing quarterbacks. If these guys, Justin Fields, if you told me right now, Justin Fields will not have any long touchdown runs, he's going way overdrafted. The whole reason you're taking these guys is because they can bring so much on the ground. And yes, can you predict a 60-yard TD run in an individual game? Absolutely not. But over the course of 17 games, is that part of why I'm drafting Justin Fields? Abso-fucking-lutely. I mean, what are we doing here? I don't think Justin Fields is going to throw for 5,000 yards. All right, we need more wide receivers. I don't want any of these running backs yet. Feeling like a good old piss boy this morning. Let's do Chris Godwin. Let's do Chris Godwin at pick 68. I understand the discount. I understand Baker Mayfield sucks. I understand Kyle Trask sucks. Actually, all the Superflex slappies told me Kyle Trask is the second coming of Joe Montana. But Chris Godwin at pick 68, I'm happy. I'm happy to live in that range there with Godwin. You got to take some boring players, right? They can't all be the hot, new, young rookies and second-year wide receivers. It is almost tank top season, as Bindle says. It was still rainy and windy here in New England. I had a chair blow off my patio this morning, so I was feeling more like hoodie weather. But yes, the Value Hound tanks are in the store. If you guys ever have any requests for merch items, just let me know. Let me know. It's not too hard for me to spin those up. There's a channel in the Deposit Kingdom Discord called Think Tank. That's a good place to drop suggestions. I had someone, Skeleton Tor in the ship chasing community, he wanted an athletic shirt for ship chasing. So I got that spun up there. Moisture wicking shirt. So, hey, I'm a man of the people. If there's merch that you guys want, I will happily include that for you guys. I'm having too much fun pissing. Mike Evans is here. This is how I avoid taking Sam Howell. Is because I have to leave room for fucking Baker Mayfield. No, but I am going to go ahead and double up on Tampa. And I don't think it means I have to prioritize the stack either. You know, this is a thing I'm trying to be way more fluid about this year. And, you know, Pat wrote about this in one of his legendary upside posts of like, go ahead and snipe me on the quarterbacks, because the benefits we get from correlating, even without the quarterback, are still there. And especially if we're not excited about that quarterback's ability to get into our starting lineup, we can still benefit from those outlier Evans and Godwin games, even without the quarterback, and just getting as much correlation on our team, even if it doesn't involve the QB. So I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more teammate stacks, running back, wide receivers, wide receiver, tight ends, wide receiver, wide receiver. And if you get the quarterback, or you like the quarterback and think they have some kind of breakout above replacement level appeal, then I think that's a nice cherry on top. Although with the Bucks, I'm not sure that's the case. Not sure that is the case with the Bucks. Still trying to catch up on the chat here. Ball is life is ready from the hoodie bro to tank top bro. When mulch spreading. Yeah, sacrilegious. I know you've really been pushing for this. I've just done some focus groups here, and it didn't seem like the market was as interested in mulch spreading shirts as you. Because I have to ask myself, I have to have really honest conversations with myself. If I spend all this time getting a mulch spreading shirt made, I have to pay my designer to come up with a logo. Then I have to get it up in the store. And then I start promoting it. Then I got to get my sample copy here. And then I sell one shirt. And I have to ask myself, I have to look myself in the mirror and say, Peter, was that the best use of time? But look, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me in the chat that there is some hungry market for mulch spreading shirts, and I'll make it happen. I'll make it happen. Matt wanted me to take Jameson Williams for the OSU stack. We're waiting for the Jameson Williams dip. That needs to drop. Chasing Karain Speedo. I guess we could do that. Yeah. I don't necessarily know the implications of that. Kyle Pitts, Trey Lance, Stan Tees. That's a good way to get a lawsuit from the NFL for copyright infringement. Living a little. That's a good way to get David Kitchen saying I owe him residuals on every single shirt. I'm all business, Bindles. All business. I do see, that's a good one. I do have hats in the store. We have nice snapback hats. If there's something, I could put the Value Hound logo on a hat. Would you guys want that? Because right now I just have the Value Hound on hoodies, tank top, shirts. I could put the Value Hound on a hat. All right, we are back on the clock. Feels like it's about time to take a running back. Lord knows we're not taking. God, am I going to just do my Javonte Williams thing again? Man. The problem with taking Javonte Williams now is, do I think he continues to slide a bit? That's the only thing I'm trying to think through. I'm going to go ahead and take James Cook. So we break the running back seal here in the 8th round. If Javonte Williams comes back to me, I'll happily click him. So we're at a 1-1-5-1 right now. We have Justin Fields at quarterback, James Cook at running back, wide receivers, Chris Olave, DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and our tight end is Travis Kelce. Not too bad here. Brandon, where was Charbonnet going in the big board? He was like he fluctuated a little bit. I want to say he opened up as like an 11th round pick or something and then moved up into the 10th or 9th. This is the shirt. You're right. I'm making a note of this. Kevin's completely right. Feeding the Ducks is the shirt we need. I think it's either something with feeding the Ducks. Maybe what if I could work in a coffee motif? Yeah, I think I have it. Feeding the Ducks, coffee. Yeah, we need official Best Ball Breakfast shirt. That doesn't say the words Best Ball Breakfast, but just if you know, you know. All right. So we do have Javonte Williams going. I don't need to take a tight end here. We are going to push it. There's no obvious stacks. How about Khalil Herbert? We'll do a little kind of quarterback, running back stacking here with Fields, build out our Chicago bet. Got a nice little 0 RB room cooking here with James Cook and Khalil Herbert in a trio on the Bears of Justin Fields, Herbert, and DJ Moore. Aren't you worried about Roschon Johnson, bro? Roschon Johnson would have been a Zeke Elliott level prospect had he not played behind Bijan Robinson. Have you watched the tape on Roschon, man? This guy does it all. This guy does it all. All right, Fantasy Football Garage. Herbert was thinking that. Great minds think alike. I've also thought about this one, Johnny Football's Influencer 101s, but I don't know how many of you guys self-identify as influencers, you know? I guess I just sarcastically answered your questions. Thoughts on Herbert with Roschon added. It definitely isn't ideal. It's definitely not ideal, but in this, in our theme of drafting like we're right, and when I'm building out a Bears breakout bet, I definitely want a piece of that backfield. And I still think Herbert has the most upside of those guys, just his ability for explosive plays. And so if this offense really gets humming, I think Herbert is ultimately the back you want. Could Deontay Foreman, fall into the end zone 10 times and pull his best Jamal Williams impression? Absolutely. And I still like Deontay Foreman. But yeah, I think Herbert in this draft reality. Oh my God, I forgot my scrolling ticker. People almost forgot. This is my third Best Ball Mania 4 draft. If you're just tuning in, I will be streaming all 150 of my drafts. Some will be on this channel. Some will be on Ship Chasing. Some will be on Splash Play. Some will be on Fantasy Live. If you want me to come on and be a guest on your podcast, well, maybe I should not, write checks I can't cash. Just kidding. No, I will come on your streams and I will draft Best Ball Mania 4 teams because there's only so many days between now and when this contest fills. And I'm basically, anytime I'm on camera, I basically need to be drafting a team. It is what it is. So these drafts will be happening everywhere. And what I'm going to do to make it easy is I have a playlist now on my YouTube channel. And even if the stream isn't on my channel, I will add that video to the playlist. So you'll be able to have one playlist that is a comprehensive repository for all of my stream drafts. You will be able to find them all in that playlist. You know what? This will actually work out well. Oh, I was going to take P. Ryan because I was going to say, hey, I didn't get Javonte Williams. I do like the one of every either Javonte or P. Ryan in a lot of drafts. But we'll go ahead and take A.J. Dillon here. What? 8 picks past ADP? A.J. Dillon, 8 picks past ADP. Also a little Chicago Green Bay Week 17 bring back. Ooh. We can maybe make that happen, Bindles. I need to grind some more Bindles stream. I know you're fresh to the game. I need to make sure you got your hosting chops up there. Are you going to make me feel welcomed, Bindles? Are you going to service the audio listener? I got to see you. I got to grind some Bindles tape, Definitely some in the club as well, Clay, for sure. Mr. Rubbing off on me, drafting next to you, number 4. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Don't snipe me, bro. Really love the Best Ball After Dark, Johns. Yeah, I'm going to keep those rolling. This past weekend, I had mentioned the draft with Pat. That was initially going to be a Best Ball After Dark. I make those available to YouTube members. We'll be getting another one of those going most likely Friday. Little Cinco de Mayo Best Ball After Dark for YouTube members. Gotta confirm my guest. But we'll have, I don't know, some Modelo's. Draft a Best Ball Mania 4 team. Learn about our guest. Private, intimate evening. Drinko de Mayo Best Ball After Dark edition. All right, what do we got going on here? Let's do. I see Tyler Algier finally falling. That's nice. Let's do Brian Robinson. I just had talked about, pre-NFL schedule release. and thinking about correlations and, what are the things we can control with correlations, and it's teammate level stuff. We know Brian Robinson and Terry McLaurin will be playing together in week 17, barring injury. Same with Godwin and Evans. So we'll continue to build out these little mini bets on these teams. I guess I could have done Tyler Algier as well. Maybe a little correlation there with Chris Olave in that shitty NFC South. But I can't give in to the Tyler Algier slappies. I think I told Spags he should be like a 15th round pick. And if I were to take him at pick 125, I would never hear the end of it. Sometimes you got to think those things through, the ramifications of each one of your picks. GM Drew, the people need more sauced Gretch this summer. Ryan, of course, referencing our epic ship chasing draft stream the other night where Gretch went, I believe the boating nautical term would be 3 sheets to the wind. I believe the non-technical term would be shithoused. He had himself one. Definitely recommend checking out that stream if you want some good entertainment. But yes, we will be drafting all summer long on ship chasing, of course. I think the motto here is we will be drafting all summer long. I think we have firmly established that. Frank, also saw you became a YouTube member this morning. Thank you, Frank, for joining. When is David Kitchen coming on? Need to know the secrets on how to make DK Best Ball final. Yes. You know what? Kitchen would be a very fun Best Ball After Dark guest. That's a good suggestion. Look at you guys. You're giving me t-shirt ideas. You're giving me ideas for my guests. I really appreciate this community doing all the heavy lifting for me. All right. Yeah, Gretch. Well, Gretch did a stream on Friday night and he was in a much more subdued state than he was. All right. We're about to be back up on the clock here. Look at me shaming all of you guys not to take Tyler Algier. And we got all the Chicago backs here. This is an interesting spot. You know what? I'm going to keep it rolling here with my guy Doubs. We now have a decent amount of quarterback options. Jordan Love already went. Oh, okay. GDE going with the Tua Love. Okay, he had the Christian Watson stack. I still like Doubs. So our team here through 12 rounds, we got Fields at quarterback and Travis Kelce at tight end. So still onesies at the onesie position. Our 0 RB room is James Cook, Khalil Herbert, AJ Dillon, and Brian Robinson. Our wide receivers, Chris Olave, DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Romeo Doubs. I just realized I'm rookie-less through 12 rounds. You guys are hogging all the rookies. Can you guys let me have one rookie? Wouldn't that be nice of you to let me have one rookie? GM Ryan, I'm due for another coffee pour. I am due for another coffee pour. Pete loves Doubs and Thornton. I still don't know why. I don't know. Hang on. I'm on the clock here. Should I take Deion? Thornton? That's a great idea you had there. Man, look at all these no handcuffing here. Let's do. We're going to take Tajay Spears. It's a little pick here, but I was starting to feel naked and exposed with no rookies. Romeo Doubs was really good in limited action last year. He was battling some injury stuff. He just got completely overshadowed by the Christian Watson season. And Christian Watson is awesome. There's a reason he's going, 10 rounds ahead of Romeo Doubs. But I'm betting on this Green Bay offense. I like Jordan Love. I think I'm higher on Jordan Love than the market. On this team, I had already taken AJ Dillon. I want to build out bets on teams. And I want, in general, to be making bets on these second-year wide receivers who flash any kind of efficiency or ability to earn targets in year one. Those have historically had really good returns in year 2. And I want to be making bets on those guys across the board at various prices. Alec Pierce, another good late one that I think falls into that bucket. If they don't ever get on the field or they're very inefficient, then I think it's time to worry. But if they flash in year 1, I want to be having exposure to those guys, and especially the cheaper ones like Romeo Doubs and Tyquan Thornton. It's funny you say, I don't know why. I think those are probably two of the best later wide receiver picks you can get right now. The Tyquan Thornton ADP is just silly. I mean, talk about a guy who emerged from the draft with a really clear runway there. Jason says, I know handcuffing is a no-no, but accidentally took Cooks and Harris both well after ADP in a 0 RB build with an offense like that. Is it acceptable? I do think there are exceptions to those rules. And if you're reaching for both of those guys, I think that's where you get really in trouble. But if you're getting both of them at an extreme discount, I think it's viable. Like, say I had taken Tajay Spears there and Deontay Foreman, fell to me or something like that. There's scenarios where I don't mind it. And especially if the offense is a top 5 offense, right? Where there's so many points to go around, where I think you could tell yourself something where the Bills run the ball so much that James Cook and Damian Harris aren't even necessarily negatively correlated, in that they're just going to have their own standalone roles. And it's not like Damian Harris is only going to be relevant if there's an injury to James Cook or vice versa. Like, they're going to use those guys in different ways. So there's plenty of scenarios where James Cook is their back between the 20s and catches a few balls, and Damian Harris is the ramming rod or whatever at the goal line. I think that kind of stuff checks out logically for me. Let's grab. Do we have anything else? I don't mind the Jeff Wilson price here. All right, let's take Jeff Wilson. Let me see, where did A-Chain go? A-Chain went at pick 114. Okay. And then where did Mostert go? Mostert went at pick 145. I don't mind taking the cheapest of the 3 there in that scenario. I do think that is going to be a backfield, similar to the Lions, or sorry, not Lions, similar to the Eagles. I wrote about that for the Fantasy Life newsletter today, of how people are going to discount these ambiguous committee rotation type backfields too much just because there's no safe way to project one of them for 80% market share of carries or whatever. It's the same thing that happened last year with Kenneth Walker and Rashad Penny. People just shrug their shoulders and say, I don't want anything to do with this. But if we know these offenses can produce a ton of fantasy points at the position, I want to be taking stabs on all of them. Let's see here. Do we want to set up? Let's do it. Let's start setting up the Sam Howell double stack. I mean, the second I'm not drafting with Karain, I'm dialing up the Sam Howell double stack. We take Curtis Samuel. Our team so far: Justin Fields at quarterback, James Cook, Khalil Herbert, AJ Dillon, Brian Robinson, Tajay Spears, Jeff Wilson at running back. Our wide receivers: Chris Olave, DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Romeo Doubs, Curtis Samuel. Tight end Travis Kelce. We're through 15 rounds. We are going to be adding at least one more tight end. I guess we could raw dog it with Travis Kelce. That was something that I think is smart to do when you have Kelce. I didn't do it a lot last year, but I do think it's viable. I think my thought on it with Kelce is that it's completely fine for the regular season to have just that one tight end. I do think it hurts you to raw dog tight end, even with Travis Kelce, the way the playoff gauntlet works, and needing to advance 1 of 16, in round 2, which is week 15, 1 of 16 in round 3, and then finish first overall in week 17. And so you basically need Travis Kelce, right, to go for 25 plus points in 3 straight weeks, which he's fully capable of doing. The problem is, if he does that, every single team in the finals is going to have Travis Kelce. If Travis Kelce goes for 25 in weeks 15 and 16, he's going to have an 80% ownership in week 17. And then it's going to be, that's where you want that second tight end. That's where you want the dust ball, the, rookie or the other correlated tight end with your quarterback. So you can get that unique score. And you essentially hope Travis Kelce flops in week 17 and your other much lower owned tight end goes off. So that I think is my problem with the solo tight end stuff. It makes complete sense to me from a capital allocation standpoint and from a weeks 1 through 14 standpoint. I don't think it's optimal for the playoffs. I could do the tile. I could do the 3 quarterback build with Trask and Howell, but I just, again, I think that's just such a poor use of draft spots here. I'm probably going to end up with a 7th running back, and we'll end up with a 2 QB, 7 running back, 7 wide receiver, 2 tight end build. Let's see here. We are almost on the clock. Let's see. Brian asking, where's the second draft being posted in the Discord? Yeah, in the Best Ball Breakfast channel, I tag the value hounds when I'm hopping into it. I sync my Discord with YouTube. Let me tag you. What's your Discord name? I can tag you in here if you tell me your Discord name. All right, I am on the clock again. Just in case one of you chuckleheads tries to get out of line, I am going to go ahead and lock up my boy Sam Howell now. Yeah, that's right. I called you guys chuckleheads. Oh, yeah. B-Spurf, you did the randomizer tier. So you got to upgrade for that one. That one's just for the randomizer show, which will be launching probably after Memorial Day. I got to get some ducks in a row. Speaking of ducks, we're about to feed them. But yeah, we will be getting the randomizer going. And in that channel, you guys can make suggestions for prompts. You can enter the randomizer drafts because I post the private link in there. But yes, that is a different one. The way the YouTube membership works is they're all nested. So if you get like the Hand Builder DFS one, you get all of them. I understand if you don't want a DFS one where it's not in season for NFL DFS, the Best Ball Value Hounds will get you all the ones under that. So that's how the YouTube membership stuff works. All right. I got my quarterback, so I'm 1 running back pick and 1 tight end pick away. Let's see what my guy does here. Okay, I like Chuba. I still like Chuba a lot. I think that the draft actually went pretty well for him, and I feel just pretty confident that Chuba is going to have a standalone role alongside Miles Sanders. We saw this offense last year really establish it to the point 3 backs were getting involved. I think they are going to ease in Bryce Young, and I think this is going to be a team that really focuses on the run in a big way. And so Chuba, standalone value, can catch some passes, flash some explosiveness last year, and then you get the contingent upside value. If Miles Sanders goes down, I think Chuba is getting, 15 plus touches a game. I'll continue to grab him as part of my 0 RB room. He's my 7th running back here. James Cook, Khalil Herbert, AJ Dillon, Brian Robinson, Tajay Spears, Jeff Wilson, and Chuba Hubbard. And now we will be grabbing 1 more tight end here. What happened to all the Jake Ferguson slappies? He's still kicking around here at pick 202. No one's going to value hound Jake Ferguson. Trevor, how do we get the value hound roll when your members? Yeah. So the roll that is, you know what I need to do? You just reminded me. Within the Best Ball Breakfast channel, I will make an opt-in roll that you guys can select. And then that way, if you're a hand builder tier like you are, Trevor, that you can still get notified. So I'll create a specific role in there after today's show. I'll create a Best Ball Breakfast role and post it in there, and then we can make it easy that way. Oh, yeah, it's because Dallas drafted a T. Luke Schoonmaker. All right, what tight end am I going to take here? What tight end am I going to take? What would be fun here? Jelani Woods would be fun. I took a ton of Isaiah Likely in the big board. I could do a boring pick like Hunter Henry. I could go crazy with my Tampa Bay stack with Cade Otton. I kind of like that. I kind of like the Cade Otton thing. And just basically have a third big stack in here. We have our big Chicago stack. We have our big Washington stack. And then we have our Tampa Bay stack as well, just without the quarterback. All right. My third team is in the books. Third team in the books. What a time to be alive here. I will recap for the audio listeners. Justin Fields, Sam Howell at quarterback. Running back, James Cook, Khalil Herbert, A.J. Dillon, Brian Robinson, Tajay Spears, Jeff Wilson, Chuba Hubbard. Pretty solid 0RB room, I must say so. A nice little blend of, we got a rookie in there. We got some plotters, some touchdown hunters. We got some committee backfield mates, some contingent guys. Nice little blend, a nice texture, if you will. Wide receivers, Chris Olave, DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Romeo Doubs, Curtis Samuel. Feel perfectly good about that. What do we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide receivers in the first 77 picks. One of the things when I was looking at, both Pat's lineup in that video I did on the Deposit Kingdom channel, the anatomy of $1 million lineup, is even though King Capital, who won the regular season Best Ball Mania 3 prize last year for $1 million, even though he started 0 RB, had obviously 5 wide receivers before round 10. Pat, who started with 2 running backs, still found a way to get to 5 wide receivers through round 10. And if you look at a lot of the top lineups, even the teams that go hyper fragile or go double anchor RB, they are still loading up on wide receivers in rounds, 3 or 4 through 10, because you do really need that firepower to be able to compete. And Leone has some other really good data on this as well in his Best Ball Manifesto. And then the tight end, Travis Kelce, who's going to do all the heavy lifting until Cade Otton is my low advance rank guy who scores 2 touchdowns in week 17. Seems like an easy game, right? Seems like an easy game. All right, here. Let's see. We need to do a little housekeeping here. We got to update my ticker. And this is also a good time to mention here. I mentioned this on the stream on Saturday night with Karain. I really want to get to 15,000 subs. I'm almost to 13,000 right now. I think we can get there by the end of the summer. I'm normally too cool for school. I forget to ask for likes. I forget to ask for subscribes. And I said, forget it. We'll just incentivize you guys. This is the setup here. The road to 15K is going to include me giving $500 cash to 3 different commenters and subscribers of this channel. And basically the way you get entered is on any of my Best Ball Mania 4 draft streams. And like I said, I'm going to have the playlist there for you when the show is done, because you can't comment on a video. You got the live chat, but you can't comment on a video until it's done. You go and leave a comment. That's not some first bullshit or whatever, a legitimate comment. You will get an entry into that drawing when we hit 15,000 subs to win that cash prize. Every single time you leave a comment on a video, not on one video, but different comments on each video, you will get that many entries. So if I end up having, say, 50 videos where I do all my 150 streams, you could theoretically have 50 entries into that drawing. So the more you comment on the videos, the better chances you have at winning. And we'll see who falls off. You guys were doing a great job commenting on the video yesterday, but it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So we'll see who continues to show up day after day commenting. Really appreciated all those comments yesterday. That was a good time. Very fun show, by the way. If you did miss the one on Saturday with Karain, I recommend going back and watching that. We talked about his rookie rankings and also the structure a little bit. I'm also going to be writing a piece for Fantasy Life that should be coming out tomorrow, looking more at the structure for Ball Mania IV, specific things we should be considering here. I know a lot of you guys have already spent plenty of time reviewing the structure, but there's a lot of people out there who aren't just sickos like us. And we are in our second draft here. And we are back. 1-1, baby. That's what we like to see. 4 drafts in, 2 Influencer 101s. All is right in the world. All is right in the world. Hello, Ben. Hello, Ben. Casey referencing our dance. Oh, our Waltz draft. Yeah, the $250 underdog NBA playoff best ball. I did see that, Casey. Have fun staying poor, buddy. Rigged. We did Justin Jefferson with Pat on Saturday night. I'm going to run it back. Another Justin Jefferson selection here. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. It is in time. Indeed, time to feed. As a 101 ever won BBM. You know, some might say the sample size is small, but I believe that has not happened. Because what, Herzig, the year he won, he had Kamara, who I assume he took in like the middle or back end of round 1. Liam had Jonathan Taylor at the end of round 1, I believe. And then Pat, of course, had Eckler at like what, 1-7? Is it crazy to go Jamar over Justin Jefferson? I don't think it's crazy. Here, so like in a vacuum, do I think that's crazy? Absolutely not. But if you're thinking about your drafts from a portfolio standpoint, the one thing you want to avoid is if you're doing 150 drafts and you're doing them over the course of the season, if you always take Jamar Chase over Justin Jefferson, you will have 0% Justin Jefferson, right? Because you're never going to get Justin Jefferson at like 1-3 or 1-4, where you could reliably get Jamar Chase. So that would just have to be a conscious exposure decision you're making, where you're saying, I want to have 0% Justin Jefferson. To me, I don't want to have 0% Justin Jefferson. And so what I will do is I'll just play the ADP game in the first round. I'm sure I'll have some fades. But in general, I'm going to have a balanced exposure to a lot of these guys in round 1, and I'm just going to let the ADP randomization gods dictate that. Paul calling it out. This is true. This feels like an avalanche room. We do have Bijan Robinson go 6th here to the River Rat, and then after that, just straight pissing Cooper Kupp, Diggs, AJ Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams. It's avalanche season, folks. It's avalanche. Here's another thing. I got to get my avalanche clip updated. Let's play, for old time's sake, this will be the last time playing the old avalanche clip, and then we will get an updated one. But here as a throwback, we're in an avalanche, folks.
Oh, dear God.
All right, we're back. That's quite the jarring transition, going from like getting buried by an avalanche to just the most zen, chilled out Feeding the Ducks music. Feeding the Ducks avalanche. Oh dear God. All right. we are back on the clock here. Yeah, we'll probably be taking a running back here. We'll take T. Higgins with one of these picks to pair with Justin Jefferson. And then which running back should we take? Which running back should we take? Are we scared about Breece Hall because they drafted Izzy and we're interested in Jahmyr Gibbs? Is that the narrative? It is kind of like the Javonte Williams thing, right? Where I still like Breece Hall a lot. But the question I have to really ask myself is he going to get cheaper between now and, the duration of the summer? It seems like Breece Hall might be a guy that the market starts to worry about a little bit. You know what? Screw it. I'm taking Josh Jacobs over Chubb. I will have plenty of Breece Hall, but if he ends up settling in the mid to late third, which I think is very viable if we get bearish news on his recovery, if people continue to talk about how the Jets clearly were trying to find an additional complement to him in the backfield, I'm going to just let that news cycle play itself out, and I'll get my Breece Hall shares a little cheaper. I think that's my official statement as one of the presidents of the Breece Hall fan club. I think that's what it is going to be. Last year, I'm doing BBM 3 drafts all summer saying, you know what? Breece Hall in the mid-fifth, man. This guy's going to be a turn pick at the 3-4 turn. Got to keep loading up. David Kitchen accused me of pumping my Breece Hall bags. Never happened. Breece Hall just stayed there. But update. That was a great pick. That dude doesn't get injured. Breece Hall is going at the 1-2 turn. He's a league winner alongside Dameon Pierce and Kenneth Walker, and we all live happily ever after. But that's not how life works. Sometimes life isn't fair. Sometimes, even as a guy who likes to smooth out their exposures, the one time you take a goddamn stand on a player like Breece Hall, he tears his ACL and breaks your heart. Sometimes that happens. That's just how the cookie crumbles. Some of the chat wanted me to go Chubb. Ooh, yeah, Kevin talking about my Colorado Avalanche. Here's the thing. I have a very sick Zamboni team I drafted with DJ Mitchell in the underdog NHL playoff contest that advanced with flying colors and has a 3-man Seattle stack that didn't score any points in my team in round 1. Also, me and my college buddies bet a future on Seattle, long shot, bomb to win the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. So let's just say I'm not disappointed. 8-year-old Pete, who is a diehard Colorado Avalanche fan, he would be devastated right now. But pragmatic Pete, gambling Pete, Zamboni Pete, he loves the Kraken. He loves seeing the Kraken released. Willis, Josh Jacobs 301. Has Pete jumped the shark? Probably. McVibes, let's not do this. Where did you place in BBM 3? Let's talk about BBM 2, where I had a top 10 lineup with Spike Week's Eric Bimeford. Can we talk about BBM 2? I didn't make any teams in the finals, McVibes, in Best Ball Mania 3. I decided to give all of my good luck, all of my rabbit's feet to Patrick Corain. It was a little gift I gave to him. Top stat, do I think Ken Walker and Charbonnet should have a somewhat similar ADP? No. I do think the gap should be closer, but I still think Ken Walker should be 5-6 rounds ahead of Charbonnet. It definitely hurts him, but I think the gap is still very much warranted. All right, what are we going to be dialing up here? All right, we'll go ahead and get a Joe Burrow. Oh, are we? This is beautiful. We get a value hound and a stack Joe Burrow. 15 picks past ADP to stack with T. Higgins. Ooh, you love to see it. God knows we're not taking Najee Harris here. Little Jerry Jeudy and Josh Jacobs week 17 correlation. Who says no? Bindles. Rookie mistake, Bindles. Oh, no, you're saying I should have taken I should have taken Chase. The funny thing about that, right, is there are going to be plenty of Chase Higgins drafters who then select Joe Burrow, probably a lot of times in the 3rd round. Because if you think about this, right, if you start Chase here at 3, comes back around, you take Higgins, then it wraps here, you're probably going to want to pull the trigger on Joe Burrow with your early 3rd round pick. It's really hard to have the patience to sit on it an entire round, even though you've cornered the market on Bengals. So it's just an interesting thought experiment. I think if you start Chase Higgins, I think ideally, right, if you do Chase early, you pass on Higgins here, you try to get him in the early 3rd, and then you see, all right, will the room give me the premium double stack with 4th round Joe Burrow that also allowed you to sneak in 1 extra pick? I still don't, in general, love spending a shit ton of draft capital on a premium double stack. It makes it really, really hard for you to win the tournament through 3 straight gauntlets. It's the same kind of thing we were talking about with the Kelce dilemma. But if you did it, I think you have to get a discount on Burrow. You just can't start your draft with 3 straight Bengals. I think that's really playing with fire of what you would need them to do weeks 15, 16, 17. Anthony had to step out for a minute. Did Pete give an update on the 15K subs? Yeah, we added a ton of subs from the show on Saturday. I think we added like 50 to 60. If you guys are watching and not subscribed to the channel, 1, what are you doing? 2, you're not eligible for the contest if you're not subscribed. But yes, a ton of you guys. Granted, I responded to a bunch of these, so it's included, but we had 191 comments. So if you divided that by 2, I think I responded to every comment. It's like what, 95 or so comments on the last video. Pretty solid. Appreciate all you guys. We'll keep it rolling after every video. Just get in the habit, stream ends, go leave a comment. You get another entry into the $1,500 giveaway when we hit 15K subs. Green Bay, your favorite cheap stack, or you got another one you like more? The last one I just did, the Sam Howell. I have a feeling I'm going to like that one. I do like the Jordan Love. I loved the Anthony Richardson stuff like that Pat did on our stream on Saturday night, where he had like the JT, Alec Pierce, Anthony Richardson. Looking at some other quarterbacks here. I don't mind like the backdoor stacks for the rookie quarterbacks. If you're doing Bryce Young with, some combo of Mingo and Chark and no, I won't say Visca. Terrace Marshall. Same with CJ Stroud. The Nico Collins stuff, John Mechie. I don't mind those at all. But it is kind of in general hard to find really good cheap stacks right now. The market is just so efficient with these quarterbacks compared to previous years. Sure, Ben. Ben wants to know if he wins the comment thing, can I pay you out in a Top Shot moment? Absolutely. Absolutely. I would love to offload some of my dusty momes on you. There it is, Donovan. I should have mentioned Tyquan Thornton plus Mac Jones. There you go. All right, we are almost back up here on the turn. We will see what we are looking at here. Kind of a gross range of the board. I do love me some Treylon Burks. We took Mike Evans last draft. We'll do Treylon Burks here. And then what else do we want to do? Do we want to just kind of make this more of my modified anchor RB and grab another wide receiver? Or do we want to dip our toes into the Pacheco waters? I think I like Pacheco. It's so weird for me to say. The draft was really nice to him, and we got a little AFC West stuff going on here. The only thing is, do I feel like there's still a little meat on the wide receiver bone if I wait here? So yeah, let's do Pacheco. So our team through 7 rounds here from the 101. So we've been picking, double tapping at the various turns. We got Joe Burrow at quarterback. He is stacked with T. Higgins. Our running backs are Josh Jacobs and Isaiah Pacheco. Our other wide receivers with Higgins are Justin Jefferson, Jerry Jeudy, Traylon Burks, and no tight ends yet. No tight ends to speak of. Yeah, C-Rock saying Derek Carr stack is cheap. He was definitely on my radar last draft. I think there's a decent amount of quarterbacks like Derek Carr where I have no problem with them, ... if they're stacked. You know, and I guess you can definitely backdoor Derek Carr, but man, it feels better to have Carr with Olave. But I think as your second quarterback, if you're doing who are you doing? MT, Kamara, Shaheed, Jawan Johnson. I could see it. Yeah. I would just want a backdoor double stack Carr, I think, is how I'd want to do it. Neil likes the Jimmy G price right now. Yeah. Another guy very similar, where you'd prefer to have Devontae Adams with him. But if you want, you now have Mayer as a stacking option. Obviously, Hunter Renfrow is very cheap. Joe Barron, was that $25 promo code Pete one night only thing? Are you referring to Underdog? No, that's always live. Promo code Pete gets you a $100 deposit match. Or are you referencing something else? What did I say last night? I think I was just watching Succession last night. I don't think I was yelling about $25 promo code Pete last night. Oh, Bindle's trying to throw us back here to our big board days. Oh, don't you know, David Bindles, this guy is now, God damn it, my accents are so bad. I lost my accents with the big board, like Samson getting his haircut. Bindles has been don't you know, just a really great employee, and he's now streaming, and it's, we got this free healthcare up here, and he's now streaming, so I fucking hate it. I don't know how to do a fucking Canadian accent. I'm in rough shape. My BBM drafting is rough. My accents are rough. Canadian. What do I need to say? Waffles? Free healthcare. Brendan Fraser. Wasn't he in that Canadian movie? Sorry, John. I'm sorry, John. Oh, Joe, you know what? That was, I think I had messed up on my overlays. That was the old underdog offer. And I had been messing around with my designer, gave me the overlays. So yeah, sorry, that was old. Let's see here. I want to get, this feels like a nice spot for Quentin Johnston. I'm going to continue to hold strong on Javonte. Let's do Charbonnet. Let's grab a couple of rooks here. Let's grab a couple of rooks. We'll add Zach, tall glass of Chardonnay, and Quentin Johnson to the squad. I want you guys to acknowledge and appreciate the growth. In this draft, passing on two of my loves in life, Breece Hall and Javonte Williams. I wanted to select them so bad. It was going to feel so right. I wanted to get my first shares. But I know in my heart of hearts that their prices are going to get cheaper. Prices are going to get cheaper. And I think these rookies are just going to get more expensive. I mean, Quentin Johnston just feels like, how is this guy not settling as a 6th, 7th round pick by the end of Best Ball Mania? Like, isn't that just going to happen? You want me to do the stream in an ASMR voice? That's going to cost you $4.99. But here's a tease. Who is my favorite ADP value right now? I'm going to be completely honest. I'm only 3 drafts deep, and I have not reviewed all the ADPs. So I'm still legitimately getting my bearings. I can scroll through some of the stuff here, see if anyone stands out. I mean, I mentioned some of those guys last week, some of these second-year wide receivers, Doubs, Alec Pierce, Tyquan Thornton. I explained why I like Chuba Hubbard. You know who looks good to me here? Kendre Miller in this range looks really good. You know, even compared to Tajay Spears, who I took last round, I think he has more of a direct path to earning touches right out of the gate, just with kind of the Kamara uncertainty. I mean, if Kamara gets slapped with what, a 6-game suspension at minimum, you know, Kendre Miller is going to be sharing that backfield with Jamal Williams right out of the gate. So he looks good to me. Still think Devin Singletary is a good bet. A bunch of these rookie wide receivers I think are going to jump up. Jonathan Mingo, Rashee Rice, like all of these guys are going to have higher price tags in 2 weeks, much less a month than they do now. Yeah, exactly what you're saying. Where do you think Rice, Mingo, and Reed settle? I think Rice specifically, Rice and Mingo, I think are going to move up a good bit. Reed, I think, will stay in check. I would be surprised if Reed flipped Doubs, but I could see them settling in the same range. Also, I should mention, if you guys want to talk risers and fallers, on Chip Chasing, they've been doing a terrific weekly show, ADP Chasing. No drafting, just breaking down the ADP market. They, of course, were covering Superflex, Big Board. They are debuting the BBM4 version of ADP Chasing this afternoon at 1:30 p.m. Eastern on the Chip Chasing channel. So I don't know if they're going to be committing to that as a weekly change, but that'll be at 1:30. Sam has updated charts. We got updated data with the first batch, and they're going to go through all the veteran risers and fallers. Obviously, we've seen Tyler Algier falling a good bit, Kenneth Walker falling a good bit. They're going to talk about some of those rookie risers as well. Highly recommend that show. It's the perfect complement to drafting, watching drafts, then kind of, I need that show for me today because, you know, even scrolling through some of those rookies, I'm like, these guys are mispriced by a couple of rounds, but if I always wait until the current ADP, I'm not going to end up with any of them. I actually thought Pat did a good job of that on Saturday night, where I was kind of teasing him about living a little and reaching for some of these guys. But before this ADP is settled, it is kind of the best way to get some of them. We're about to be on the clock here again. We could potentially do a stack with my Denver stack. I kind of don't mind that. Why don't we do Russell Wilson in here, and we'll get the double stack with Burrow too. And I don't even think it prohibits me from taking an Irv Smith flyer late. But yeah, we'll do Russell Wilson to give us the Russell Wilson to Jerry Jeudy stack, and then we'll tack on Tyler Boyd as our wide receiver 6, and then get that Joe Burrow double that we all know and love and need in our lives. Yep, Target Hog with the stamp of approval for ADP Chasing. Sam Sherman doing a great job with those charts, and then Karain and Davis, of course, as well. Red Dane, interested to see where Swift's ADP settles. Yeah, I talked about this a little bit earlier. I wrote about this in the Fantasy Life newsletter that, man, I like the prices right now on both DeAndre Swift and Rashad Penny. I think people are going to overthink the committee stuff with the Eagles. Just shrug their shoulders, say, no one got any money here. I don't want to mess with this. But we're talking about the fucking Philadelphia Eagles. You know, we want exposure to this backfield, and there are going to be, there's multiverses where DeAndre Swift gets hurt, lots of multiverses where DeAndre Swift gets hurt and Penny's off to the races. There's other multiverses where Penny gets hurt and Swift is just an absolute smash. And I don't even mind sprinkling in Gainwell for free right now. I really want to be taking shots at this backfield. I feel similarly about the Miami backfield between Mostert, Wilson, and A-Chain. We know these backfields are going to produce a ton of fantasy points. The market is going to discount them because of that perceived uncertainty. But man, is there so much upside there when things break right. Yeah, Bert saying Gainwell's been slipping to the 200s. Yeah, and Jason pointing out Miles Sanders was awesome in a committee last year. when the piece of the pie is as big as it is in Philadelphia and they're scoring that many points, everyone comes along for the ride. Everyone does. And, King Capital talked about this in that video, The Anatomy of a $1 Million Lineup. He said, I didn't think about Sanders and Jalen Hurts, two guys he had on the same team, as being negatively correlated. They are, and Leone, I think, has made this point elegantly, that they're negatively correlated in like 98th percentile outcomes, right? The games where Hurts rushes for 3 touchdowns, that is going to negatively correlate with the running back Miles Sanders, and vice versa. Miles Sanders has 3 touchdowns, Jalen Hurts is rushing them in. So on the really high end outcomes, but I think even in the like mid-range outcomes and over the course of the regular season, weeks 1 through 14, they are very positively correlated, because you're making a bet on that offense and knowing like those touchdowns are going to come throughout those 14 weeks, and you don't really care how they're distributed. And then you can benefit from the ping-ponging effect in the fantasy playoffs. Pat experienced this a little bit with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, right? Barkley didn't end up in Pat's winning Best Ball Mania 3 lineup. Daniel Jones didn't either because of Tom Brady. But if it weren't for that, he had the massive game from Daniel Jones that was negatively correlated with Barkley. But Barkley helped him get there on another week where Daniel Jones didn't go off. So I really like the quarterback, running back pairings when they kind of line up in a cost-effective way. Bert wants the NFL to drop the schedule. I think it's 10 days from now. I put a link in the newsletter today. I believe they have tentatively scheduled it for May 11th. So today's the first, 10 more days from now. Yeah, and man, Bert coming in hot with the comments. Good comments today, Bert. Yeah, Kenny G had some very good playoff weeks, and it was frustrating, right? Because I was targeting Gainwell a ton in Best Ball Mania 3. As part of a 0 RB portfolio, I like mixing in some of those pass catching backs. You're waiting for the chaos of the season to kick in. You're waiting for your handcuffs to emerge as starters. You're waiting for your rookies to break out. And traditionally, these pass catching backs, the JD McKissicks, the James White, ... what does he do for this fucking team? The Kenneth Gainwells, these guys, are really helpful in buoying your scores, because they're going to get 6 to 7 points a lot of time. That wasn't the case last year with Gainwell. This lines up really well for my Russell Wilson stack here. We have Dulcich, so we'll get the double stack with Judy and Russell Wilson at cost here. Greg Dulcich at pick 143. And then let's see what we want to do with our other picks here. I just mentioned Kendre Miller, a guy I think is going to rise here. So I'm going to do Dulcich and Kendre Miller. I'm really having to force myself to go out and get some exposure to these running backs, because I feel very strongly that their prices are going to rise. How could we forget? Alex pointing out Nick Sirianni wore a Kenny Gainwell shirt. I don't think I'm at 100% Dulcich. Am I? Am I at 100% Dulcich? First one with Karain, we did Dulcich. No, yeah, second draft, I had a Russell Wilson stack, but it was Goddard and Schultz. And then my draft before, I did Travis Kelce and K-Dot, and I was like, have I really taken Dulcich? No. We have 50% Greg Dulcich exposure here through 4 drafts. I am going to the Celtics game tonight. Did I mention that somewhere? I forget where I mentioned it. I must have mentioned that somewhere. I'm going to the Celtics game. A little bummed that I believe Joel Embiid isn't playing tonight, right? Is that confirmed? That's a bummer, but the Garden should be rocking. Celtics should get off to a fast start. What is the line for that game tonight? Uh-oh, TD Garden has some bad vibes right now. Oh, yeah, after the Bruins dropped it. Yeah, tough scene. Tough scene. Looks like he is unlikely. He's going to be shooting around. Come on, Embiid. I want to watch Embiid. If you got good pick'em slips for NBA action tonight, someone build me, tag me on Twitter or in the Discord. I need some good pick'em slips for tonight's game. I need a good IRL sweat. So dial me up a Sixers and Celtics NBA pick'em slip. I need it. I need the live sweat. Anthony, circling back on the comment giveaway, comments on your channel, or does this include Splash Play? This is going to include any place I do a stream. So this is why, we're going to try to blow up the comments everywhere. So, and that's why I'm going to make a playlist so that you can easily go in and find all of the shows where you're eligible to make a comment that counts as an entry. So tomorrow when we do Splash Play, Spags and I will draft a team. I'll add that to the playlist. You leave a comment there, and my team of interns and myself. I think there's actually a few tools that I've used before to download comments. It'll be a little bit of a process, but we will make sure to do it fair and square. That's right, Den. Monday morning drafts and some feeding of the ducks in the background. We are so back. I also want to mention, we got a lot of fun things going on with Hot Best Ball Summer. One thing I also wanted to mention, and I've mentioned this on some other streams, but I'm going to be hosting the inaugural Best Ball Data Bowl, thanks to my friends over at Fantasy Data Pros. And we've already gotten a lot of interest. There's a sign-up form. I got links down below, and I'll speak a little bit more about that here in a second. Those entries are going to be open until August 1st, and it is specific to working with Best Ball Mania 3 data. And if you guys don't know Python yet, the Fantasy Data Pros offers a really good course that can help you get caught up to speed and then actually enter this Best Ball data competition. So I'm going to have a show coming out relatively soon. We're going to break down the details of that. Got a lot of heavy hitters who are interested. I know Sam Hoppin over at 4for4. We got Neil Farley in the chat who does a ton of great data analysis as well. So I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. It's going to be a very fun summer here as we, hear about all the data battles, what's actionable, what can we actually learn from small sample sizes. I wrote about this a little bit in my newsletter, the P.O. Box one in the last Friday edition. I think it's going to be a very fun summer. Let's see here. Are there any of these rookie wide receivers kicking around? Yeah. So this is a good one here. We're going to do Marvin Mims. We're going to go ahead and triple stack up Russell Wilson. And I'm going to keep loading up on these rookies here too. Tajay Spears, I took him in the last draft ahead of ADP. My guess is that Marvin Mims ends up flipping Tim Patrick in ADP. Do you guys agree with that? Right now, Tim Patrick at 184. Marvin Mims' ADP is 195. I feel pretty confident Mims is going to flip him in the next couple of weeks. I know people love Tim Patrick, but Ross, again, all the different things we have going on with Hot Best Ball Summer. Underdog Cardio Club, yes, there are going to be updates on that. The reason I know there's going to be updates, because I just wrote and recorded a script for the Underdog Cardio Club announcement video. We are going to have news on how it's going to work this year. There's going to be some additional promotions, giveaways for the Underdog Cardio Club members. And if you are an existing UCC member, you should have gotten an email from Noah. A lot of the comms for that is going to take place in the Underdog Discord this year. They included a link to a form to give them your Discord username so they can give you the Underdog Cardio Club role. And then for anyone else who didn't enter the Underdog Cardio Club last year, we will have details out soon about how you get into the club and you get those benefits. It's crazy that everyone on the planet knows Tajay Spears doesn't have an ACL except for the Titans. They're the only team who didn't get that memo. It's crazy. That information available there, and they missed it. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, Andrew says, I like both Mims and Patrick. I do too. And again, I'm just trying to really, be considerate with how I'm thinking about the ordering of these players and their exposure. And so, I'm doing guesswork. I'm saying Mims, I think, is going to go ahead of Tim Patrick. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. But if I'm right, then I want to be on the right side of the steam. If Marvin Mims is moving up, I want to be getting my Marvin Mims Denver exposure now. And then if he gets vaulted all the way up into like the 12th or 13th round, which I don't think would be that insane of a run out, then I'll start to get my Tim Patrick exposure, because that'll probably be directly correlated with Tim Patrick's ADP dropping a little bit. So that's kind of just my thought. It was the same thing with the Breece Hall and Javonte Williams. It's just, we're only a few days into Best Ball Mania. This contest is going to be open for a while. There are going to be some ebbs and flows and changing of prices. And I'm going to try to get on the right side of those as much as possible. And one of the best ways to do that right now is to be getting your rookie exposure before a lot of these guys get steamed up. Yeah, and Paul said it right there. I didn't even see your chat. I think Mims will settle in round 13 range by August. Yep. Jason talking about Sean Payton talking him up. Exactly. Neil, Data Bowl followed by Underdog Cardio Club. It is truly awesome that like the best ball ecosystem can now support all of these ancillary things around it. Because we're obviously all going to draft and stream all summer, but having some stuff, you can do some habit stacking, build some healthy habits with Underdog Cardio Club, dig into the data, learn new skills with best ball data. If you want to get jacked up on data research, just go read Leone's Best Ball Manifesto. Go check out Neil Farley's feed. Go check out Sam Sherman's charts. It's a great time to be interacting with best ball data for sure. Am I going to end up quadruple stacking Tim Patrick here? So right now I'm at a 2-5-7-1 build. I'm about to pick at the 16-17 turn. I have Joe Burrow and Russell Wilson. I have Joe Burrow double stacked with Higgins and Boyd. I have Russell Wilson triple stacked with Judy, Mims, and Dulcich. And now we are on the clock here. Did someone already take Irv Smith? Who took Irv Smith from me, you jerk? You big old jerk. We do, no. Oh, someone already took Chase Brown. Shit, I'm about to time out. Shit. That was not my finest moment on a couple of accounts. So I'm going to recap what just happened there. I'm going to recap what this idiot streamer just did. So I panicked and was going to just really quickly select John Mechie. But I auto-drafted Tyler Higbee first. And then, because I was trying to really quickly get Mechie to be that pick, so I then could regroup for the next 30 seconds, I just double-tapped Tyler Higbee and John Mechie. And I don't even want to look at the chat. I don't even want to see what you guys are saying in the chat right now. I refuse to look. I refuse to see the comments, the editorializing, the roasting that's going on right now. I don't even want to see it. I seriously have not looked at a single comment. Instead, I'm going to justify. You know what? Tyler Higbee, you know what? Screw you guys. Screw you. Tyler Higbee, 67, 77, 87, 35 picks. Did you just see how I did manual math? 35 picks after ADP. That's just a value hound. You know what? That wasn't an auto draft. That was a value hound. This is the beauty of spin zoning. The beauty of spin zoning is that was intentional. I just wanted to build drama to that epic value hound. That wasn't an auto draft. It was a value hound. Woo! Thank you. League winner. Thank you, Top Stat. We're off to a great start. We auto-drafted Raheem Mostert at like pick 121 in our opening stream with Pat. Just value hounded the shit out of Tyler Higbee. Damn, if only I could take Matthew Stafford to stack up. I do have one more pick left. This needs to be a running back. This definitely needs to be a running back. I don't mind this running back room. Josh Jacobs, Pacheco, 3 rookies, Charbonnet, Kendre Miller, Tajay Spears. What I was doing was looking, I thought, okay, you take Irv Smith from me, fine. At least Chase Brown will be there. Nope. Who took him? Bindles? Damn it. And who took Irv? River Rat. Screw you guys. Screw you guys. All right. Since you guys are all just geniuses, who's going to be our last round running back selection here? I actually don't mind this idea. Aaron's saying I could take Kyren Williams for the Rams correlation. I do not buy that. I never mind that, I mean. I do not mind that. Death by 1,000 auto picks. Deuce Vaughn. Did you guys see that clip? Cowboys calling Deuce Vaughn. What's so funny about some of these picks is like I took so much Pierre Strong in the big board and the big board Superflex that I'm like bored with it right now. Sacrilegious has been overdosing on Deuce Vaughn Hopium. What's the backfield going to be? So we got Thunder with Ronald Jones. We got Lightning with Tony Pollard. And what do we have? Like a light sprinkle, a gentle breeze with Deuce Vaughn. The first ever Thunder, Lightning, and gentle breeze backfield. Let's do the Kyren Williams idea. I actually don't mind that one at all. All right, there it is, folks. 4 Best Ball Mania 4 drafts in the books. 4 in the books. We got to get these named here. We got to get these named. Number 3. Hot off the presses on Best Ball Breakfast, a 2772 0 RB Chicago. There we go. Pretty solid name right there. And number 4, which I will recap here in a second. 4 down, folks. 146 to go. It's going to be a log. Great summer. Great idea, Peter. Great idea. 2682. We will do, we have Cincy, Denver here. There it is. 4 in the books. 4 Best Ball Breakfasts. 1 that I would have to split with Karain. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if this first team, which it will not win because I took Raheem Mostert at pick 121, but if this team wins any significant prize, let's just say this team wins the regular season top prize. Can you guys believe that I would have to Venmo, let's be honest, probably wire transfer, Patrick Karain $250,000? Can you imagine sending $250,000 that is in your account to a man who won $2 million last year? Because this is something I think about. This is, and some of you are going to be like, oh, that'd be a good problem to have, Peter. You should just be happy to win $250,000. And I want you to really think this through and imagine what it would be like to press submit on sending $250,000 to a man who won $2 million last year. Happy Monday. Indeed, you guys were great. Appreciate you all tuning in. Remember to leave those comments on this video if you want to be entered into the 15K giveaway. You must be subscribed to the channel, and then you can get as many entries as you want. Tomorrow on Splash Play, we'll be drafting teams. We'll have more announcements about my streaming schedule in the coming weeks. Hope you all have a wonderful Monday. Like I said, I will be expanding the Best Ball Breakfast stuff. I'm hammering out some of the details with that. Maybe not this week, but rest assured, you will be getting plenty of Best Ball Mania 4 streams because I have no choice. If I want to max this contest, which I do desperately want to do, it will all be on camera. I've already been talking to some of you about how I'm going to do my Underdog Cardio Club drafts. We're already in the lab looking at treadmill desks. Do not worry. Hot Best Ball Summer is going to be wonderful. It will all be streamed here and elsewhere in the various podcast feeds. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you guys soon. Happy drafting.